That night at the White House, he happily downed 15 sodas, and when he shook hands with President Kennedy, the president asked how he felt, and he humorously replied, "I really just got to be." Forrest often visited Jenny at the women's college, but she wasn't innocent anymore. Jenny's life was a car show, and Forrest noticed she was bullied. Without a moment's hesitation, Forrest charged in like a knight, flinging open the car door and giving that jerk a good beating. He expressed his love in his own way. Nobody messes with his Jenny. Jenny asked Forrest why he did that, but he just stood there, lost for words, and mumbled an apology. Jenny let out a sigh of resignation. In Jenny's view, Forrest remained the special guy with IQ 75, dreaming of being a folk singer like Joan Baez. Meanwhile, Forrest just wanted to be himself. From different worlds, he wasn't interested in wasting more time with her. Forrest didn't want to waste his time, while Jenny was still chasing that Joan Baez dream. Forrest wanted to be himself. Differing worldviews ended their intimacy before it began, drifting them apart. At this moment, the university door incident arose, where George Wallace blocked the auditorium door to prevent 2 black students from enrolling in protest against segregation. With an IQ of 75, Forrest knew nothing of racism, naturally aiding black students. After that, Forrest earned his college degree, and the graduation ceremony arrived. His mom was proud of his achievement as fate favored him again. An officer handed Forrest the draft papers, and before he could catch his breath, he was off to military life, just like a scene from Exciting Plots Need a Girlfriend to Enjoy. Find love on hand in hand for well-educated, quality matches. With thorough info checks and instant fake profile blocks, you can choose your partner and pick the one you like among your admirers. On his first day in the army bus, he faced the same childhood embarrassment. No one wanted to sit next to him. Only Bubba, whose family men shrimped for generations, agreed to sit next to him. Women cooked for the rich. Bubba's dream was to own his very own shrimp boat. From that moment on, Bubba became the third important person in Forrest's life, and Forrest was about to embark on another legendary journey. Life in the army seemed like a piece of cake to him. All he had to do was follow orders. When asked to assemble weapons, Forrest focused. Every time he participated in training, he would always effortlessly break the company's training records. When faced with the high demands of the officers, Forrest Gump felt absolutely no psychological burden whatsoever. He was hyper-focused on following orders. See, when the sergeant told him to shine shoes, he made them gleam like mirrors. Meanwhile, Bubba always dreamed about the shrimping business. The topic he chatted with Forrest about the most was his little shrimp plan. The army nights were often lonely, and suddenly a magazine fell into Forrest's hands. To his surprise, Forrest saw Jenny in it, flipping through a fashion magazine. Jenny had been expelled from school, and was now relying on performances to get by. On break, Forrest set out to find the theatre from the magazine. Simply put, Jenny fulfilled her stage dream, though reluctantly, and it was unlike what she envisioned. This job wasn't easy, but she achieved her dream. One guy insulted her with money and got kicked. The angry man splashed a cup of water on her, and Forrest was furious. Just like years ago, he charged in to help. Forrest was trying to protect Jenny in his own guarded way, but she pushed him away again, complaining about his violent approach. Forrest declared his love, but Jenny replied he didn't understand it. She didn't mean to hurt him, just sought adult life. She wanted to climb up the ladder, only to find her path blocked, with her original dream swallowed by modern life. Forrest couldn't be her knight in shining armor. She didn't want Forrest to see her in such a mess, and she kept wanting to escape to find her ideal life, which Forrest just didn't get. She hopped into a car and prepared to set off once again, with Forrest left heartbroken as he bid her farewell. She hoped Forrest would promise her one thing, and he remembered Jenna's request with all his heart, never forgetting it for a moment. They vanished again, and after bidding farewell to her mother, she and Bubba went to Vietnam and met Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan hailed from a military family, with ancestors perishing in battles from the War of Independence to World Wars. His ultimate dream was to die bravely on the battlefield. Bubba was constantly preoccupied with his shrimping dream, and the Vietnam battlefield was a far cry from the gun-infested scene Forrest had envisioned. They kept patrolling and moving forward for 4 months of rainy season. Day or night, even when sleeping, they were soaked. Of course, under such circumstances, they didn't even have the slightest chance to dream. You know, we really make a great team together. Because they cared for Bubba like brothers. Bubba planned to shrimp with Forrest after the war. Alone for a shrimp boat, sleep on it when tired, cook shrimp when hungry. This solved hunger and saved lodging costs. They'd split everything equally, and Forrest eagerly agreed. That's a great idea, he wrote to Jenny daily about the plans, never missing a day. Sadly, Jenny never responded. She became a wandering singer, traveling with friends, and as the sun broke through after the rain, the battlefields changed rapidly. Bombs rained down, and Forrest's unit, seeing heavy casualties, the lieutenant shouted retreat, but Forrest ignored it until Bubba shouted to run. The lieutenant yanked him up. He knew what to do. Run forward in danger, as Jenny said. Forrest sprinted back, leaving friends behind. When he turned, there was nobody. Determined to save Bubba, Forrest returned to the battlefield without hesitation. In his search, he found injured comrades. Mocked before, his duty wouldn't let him flee. So he helped everyone he met along the way back to safety. On his way back, he accidentally fell, and the lieutenant, calling for air support, heaved onto Forrest's back.